Hello, and welcome back to another episode of It's All Connected. I'm Corbin Shanklin, a journalist over at the Illuminerdi.com, one of the hosts of the show. These are my co-hosts.
What's up, guys? This is Richard Nebens here, another journalist at the Illuminerdi. I'm a co-host here. I also do my own show, WandaVision Weekly, the post-credits recap show for the MCU, and happy to be here.
Here we go. I am Bryce West. I'm a writer, and I just said Redditor, writer and editor, as you can tell, for the Illuminerdi.com. And I'm excited to get into today's show.
Right on. So let's go ahead.
Another guest star for Bryce here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We got White Vision for today.
Yes.
Spoilers,
Yeah, you put a spoiler right on. The spoiler was already there from the moment they click on the episode.
Yeah.
Bold choice.
Well, no, they got the intro.
Right.
They got a little bit. They got about 10 seconds.
Right.
I
guess we know we're starting first, as usual.
Yeah. So let's talk about WandaVision, episode 8. The penultimate episode, the great showdown between Agatha Harkness and Wanda. Except not really. It was more, a flashback-based episode of her grief that set up some really cool stuff, like obviously White Vision here in the back. There's a lot of questions to ask about White Vision. Like, is he going to be a gateway to bring back Ultron? Why is Hayward lying about what went down with Wanda coming to the sword base? There's so many questions up in the air. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the episode. What were your thoughts overall?
Hayward, like I've been saying, is bad news bears. I mean, he was teased as maybe sort of somebody that could help when he first came in episode 4, but it's clear he's got something bigger and much more nefarious going on.
Sinister intentions, for sure.
Yeah.
Very much so. I don't know what it is yet. I was saying I actually did a live watch along with the Illuminerdi crew for the last episode of WandaVision, which we're going to be doing again next week. And I was saying there, I am done predicting what's going to happen in this show because I have absolutely no clue.
I think the line, just the one line that I think that will be talked about for years and years and years to come, just not in regards to just Marvel, but like cinema as a whole, like cinematic pieces, and what is grief but not love persevering. I think what I don't like. How do you write a line like that? Like what? Like that is the most perfect. Though that is the most perfect line I think I have ever heard in any sort of production. Let it be musical, let it be play, let it be TV show, let it be movie. This was without a doubt the best episode of the show by far, the best episode of a superhero show by far. And, I feel like I could go back and watch this episode a million times over. Like, this was a Scarlet Witch origin story movie almost, and it was nothing short of perfect. I just don't know how they were able to just absolutely nail it. And they even go as far as explaining the sitcoms. They went as far to make jokes about her accent and how she sometimes decides to be an American and sometimes decides to be Sokovian. I like that line, but man, that line that Vision gave. And from a robot, nonetheless, a robot gave this just completely moving line, absolutely incredible. I don't think I will ever forget that line, ever. It is on par with the do or do not, there is no try, in my opinion,
That's up there.
It was that good of a moment, And, I think the lead up to that moment was perfect. That whole conversation with her and Vision, and then we got to see, it reminded us of Pietro. We got to see what happened to her parents. We saw what happened to her in Hydra. So all of that leading up into that moment with Vision, on the bed. What a wonderful moment. Probably my favorite comic book adaptation moment, period. And Endgame was a thing. So, I was absolutely blown away by it. It's honestly a work of art. It was that good, in my opinion. So
definitely. Yeah, I think overall episode 8 was definitely one of my favorite of the show, perhaps my favorite. It'll be interesting to look at them all after we get to Friday here and see the show, and we can evaluate it for what it is, assuming they don't sneak attack us with an episode 10, which I don't,
come on, like, let's be real.
There was rumors about that once. It seems like it's not going to happen.
There was rumors about Mephisto a couple times too.
That's true. I think that's just kind of one of those things. But
I think the mystery 10th episode might be a myth.
It's probably a myth. How cool! But that's not the point. That's not the point.
I'll read Richard where. I guess there's still one more episode. But.
This and to that I will say I do think there are going to be plot threads left dangling, like probably a good few. It's probably going to irritate people, much like kind of how the Force Awakens did,
right?
Like, I'm not trying to get us off onto a sequel trilogy debate right at this moment. We can we'll get there. That later.
Oh, we'll get there.
We had one a little bit before. Me and Corbin had a little argument about the sequels.
Point in case being, this episode was fantastic, and I want to address a few plot points here because I think they're really important, and I'm seeing a lot of discussion about them online. Okay, element number one I think is important to talk about here is the opening sequence with Agatha. I actually didn't like it very much. Her with the other witches and her mom. It was like I saw them, it was just kind of magic laser beams, and then the mom was like, Agatha, you're using the dark magic, and she's like, I gotcha, and she eats her soul, and it's like, okay, so she's a bad guy who killed her mom. That's basically how it is, and that's it's one note, it's flat. Now we do have another episode, build on that, improve on that, but if they don't, that's not great. That's concerning.
It was a little out of place. I will give you that. It definitely was a little out of place. I hope. I agree. I hope they expand on it a little more, or else, that's gonna be a little bit of.
And that's not to say I didn't like her throughout the episode. I think the opening scene had me a little concerned, and then I was really enjoying Agatha Harkness throughout the rest of it. You sound like you had.
I think Catherine Hahn is one of the top-notch Marvel villains already.
Yeah, honestly. For sure. Holy cow!
Yeah, she's done a great job.
Everyone I've spoken to loves Agnes. I've seen more discourse about Agatha Harkness, but it'll be interesting to see again to evaluate. Next week's episode is going to be so much fun. Just talking about seeing how people react to it, how we feel about it as a whole. Because Bryce, you mentioned this is shaping up to be basically your favorite superhero comic book media of all time. Mm-hmm. I think for me, I was thinking about TV shows. I still think Watchmen's above it. I think it's like Watchmen, and then WandaVision is like right here. Now it may change in a couple days, but Watchmen, it's also 9-episode limited series. It was done through HBO. It's a sequel to the comic book, which is like incredible. Just I can't believe
I think that was my problem with it, is because I haven't read the book.
Oh, read the book, man. It's so good.
So I tried to watch the show without reading the book, and I had absolutely not a single clue what was going on.
A real quick side note, and we'll get back to WandaVision, is that if you watch the movie, you just need to understand the one main difference in the end in the third act, because there's one big thing that's different, and it's very important. So if you can get that, you can basically watch the movie, and then you're fine. At least that's my opinion on the matter. But I can't say that completely because I did read the book, so I can't know. Regardless, watch Watchmen. Also watch WandaVision. The superhero TV shows
absolutely
of greatness. What other things were important here? So a lot of people were like, is Scarlet Witch going to be a mutant because of this show? And I was always kind of like, I doubt it, but maybe. It's interesting that Agatha Harkness kind of suggests that she used a probability hex on the Stark missile so that her and Pietro didn't die.
Yeah,
this isn't outright confirmed, but it suggests that she's been able to do magic since before the Infinity Stone. And so what kind of Harry Potter-ish. Yeah, and what I theorize here, it ties into the chaos magic. So in the source material, she is born in a place called Wundagore Mountain, right, where this elder god Chthon is trapped, and he basically touches her like kind of like not in like a creepy way, but like gives her his magic when she's born, because he needs like someone he can possess to be reborn and take over the earth. He's like an evil demon guy, super powerful, kind of like Mephisto, not exactly. His backstory is different. It'd be fun to get into sometimes, but he would fill a similar role to I think what people might have expected Mephisto in this to have filled in this show. Big bad demon who Agatha's getting her powers from, and who's kind of the main perpetrator even behind Agatha, who I think we would all agree Agatha is going to be the main villain of the show. Next episode, we'll see probably a showdown between White Vision and I think maybe Normal Vision and Wanda.
Yeah.
You know,
there's some showdowns that are going to happen in this next episode.
Oh, well, yeah. Sure. I mean, have you seen the press image?
Pulling up, right? You know?
Yeah. Have you seen the press image of the whole WandaVision family kind of like getting ready to fight?
Looking like the Incredibles?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I never made that connection, vibe. But yes.
Yes.
Oh, man. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be an awesome moment. Like all four of them going up against Agatha.
You got Wanda, Vision, White Vision, Agatha, Monica, potentially Doctor Strange. This is gonna be a
sword.
Yeah, sword like Jimmy Woo. You know,
dude. Jimmy Woo is gonna be the one to do the final blow. Calling it.
Oh, that would be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think no matter what. And then the chaos magic is also important because Comics Explained is a great YouTube channel I've been a big fan of for several years now. And I was like, they mentioned chaos magic here. I know he's mentioned it a few times before. I'm not too familiar on it. Let's see if he's got a video. And he dropped one like within several hours of the episode dropping. And I was like, my man. And he basically explains it and lays it out. And this reality warping magic, basically as Agatha described it, that Scarlet Witch has, that would basically in the comics come from Chthon. It's why she's so strong, you know? Mm-hmm. And then he's also the dude who wrote the Darkhold. And it's interesting that we didn't see them go back to the book last episode, or this episode rather. But if you've got the Darkhold and you've got chaos magic, now that's two big indicators of Chthon, you know, like way more so than we ever had from Mephisto. That's a cold hard fact. I was out here, you know, speculating like, oh, that fly could be Mephisto. Like, this isn't that. This is actually pretty strong indicators, if you ask me.
Listen,
we'll see. Of course, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't.
We've got the problem with that is the fact that we have one episode left.
One 50-minute episode that was confirmed.
Right. Yeah.
50-minute.
But we have so much that is still left on the table. You know, I feel like, you know, we still don't know what Hayward's been up to. Right. We don't know what White Vision's all about. You know, we don't know how we're going to fix the hex. Like what's going to happen to Vision? You know, what is Agatha's motive? You know,
for sure.
And then we learned in last episode that, you know, it wasn't Agatha all along. It still was Wanda all along, you know, so that's kind of weird, you know? So yeah. And then there was still stuff from way back. What was the deal with Eastview? You know, how come the cops didn't know, but it seems like Westview is a very known thing, here in these most recent episodes, you know? So did they come from Westview and somehow get out and they don't like, you know, I don't know. Like, how come Jimmy Woo and Monica Rambeau were able to see into Westview, but those cops were not? You know, I feel like that's something a very weird thing that is still left on the table, and we only have one episode left. So I feel like, oh, surprise, another secret villain is coming, you know, is a little much to just be throwing in here at the very last episode.
I don't think we're going to see everything get resolved here. I think people are going to be way surprised at how much of a sequel to WandaVision Doctor Strange 2 is. That's honestly... I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
But you've got to wrap up the story somewhat. You know, it can't be foreshadowing Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then you know, and it's like, well, maybe there'll be another one. You know, like
says who? You know, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but like, I see no. Is it unlikely? Definitively, if you look at the track record, 9 out of 10 times, 9.9 out of 10 times, we're going to see a Marvel movie end on a happy note where things get resolved and like Vision's good and the day is saved.
Infinity War being the exception.
I'm not saying that the day will be saved.
What if it's like that? What if it is like Infinity War where everything just sucks? And like, it's depressing and sad and heartbreaking. Like the show's kind of been, you know?
It really has.
This isn't uplifting television. Like this
the problem with that is that, you know, we're saying like, oh, what if it leaves off on a massive cliffhanger? But Marvel has only done it once, and that was Infinity War.
I think
otherwise Marvel never does that. Marvel never leaves it on a huge cliffhanger.
I think given how much is coming in Phase 4, especially that Doctor Strange is connected so much with this show, I think there's going to be some stuff that is like definitively closed, that it's going to resolve itself in this series. But there may be a thread or two that'll leave hanging for the rest.
Yes, there will be stuff left over to be talked about in Doctor Strange for sure, but it's not going to be an Infinity War level. I mean, you have to wait for Doctor Strange now to see the end. You know,
what do we have in between now and then? That
a lot.
That we would expect to feature characters potentially, anyways, like Wanda or Vision.
I would say Spider-Man. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about that title later.
Is there anything else?
That's it for me. That's
I kind of all I can think of.
Shang-Chi, maybe.
Although I've heard that one's going to be more in the 5-year gap.
Yeah, so really? That would be at a different point in the
Never
timeline.
mind. So
if that's true, which I believe if that's true. That's what I've always heard as well. But they've done a great job keeping it under wraps, except for the suit reveal, which
we'll talk about later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we want to go into that now.
Honestly, so WandaVision, I'm trying to think what else is important. There was Chaos Magic, there was Agatha, who again I liked, barring the first scene. One thing someone pointed out to me about the first scene as well is that perhaps Agatha's acting in the way that she is kind of, the overacting, like, oh no, because she knows that she's actually totally good and can just kill these people and be fine. And she's just already on the dark side. And I'm like, maybe, but I don't know. I haven't rewatched it and considering that. So I don't know.
I like the thought. I like where they were initially going to go with that scene. I mean, especially because it tied back to that whole, remember the June 2nd Easter egg from episode 1, the start date of the Salem witch trials, and the fact that they actually went to the Salem witch trials for it, that was pretty cool. Maybe the execution wasn't perfect, but I love the thought.
For sure. But yeah, White Vision. So do you guys think Ultron is a potential candidate, or do you think this is a different character?
Obviously, I've said that for a while.
I think there's a slight chance, but I'm not betting on it.
Well, here's why I suggest
I'm neither am I.
Here's why I suggest it, because the most obvious way I've always figured Ultron could come back, and I've said this many times, maybe not on the show, but like just to friends and perhaps in my writing, would be if you consider that at the end of Age of Ultron, we don't see Vision and Ultron have like we don't see Vision kill him, destroy him, or whatever. He could have downloaded like a part of him or something into him, because he admits earlier in the movie that like he values Ultron. He doesn't want to kill him, but like he feels that he
has to.
But what if he was like, let me save this unique thing, and
it's in his system now.
No, while I'm sitting here saying it, I'm also kind of considering like he has that one quote. He's like, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, so that would kind of fly in the face of that. But let's say that happened. Let's say that happened. If you revive Ultron without the Infinity Stone, this hollowed out version of him, if there's still like Ultron code in there, maybe things go off like that. That'd be
there's
really
a gateway
cool.
for it,
guys.
It seems unlikely, but
I think we're forgetting the fact that Hayward is Ultron. In I was a member of that theory for a while. I'm not anymore, but
Hayward's just not a good person.
But it's so weird because in the flashback with Wanda, he seems to be very kind, considerate, understanding. In the Rambeau flashback, he seems again kind, considerate, understanding to her loss.
He seemed creepy to me in the Wanda
Westview
flashback.
Happens,
really creepy to me with Wanda.
With Westview, whenever the Westview stuff happened, everything switches, and obviously we know, like, I guess we have some sort of motive to get Vision back now. It's because that can't be Vision because Vision's in my basement, So maybe I guess that could be the motive, like to see like how Vision is there because he knows that Vision is with him. But again, then why lie about Wanda stealing Vision?
I hope we get some Hayward answers next episode.
We have to. There's only one.
I have two kind of big thoughts on that. For one, I think it's interesting to me that to some degree, I think WandaVision does kind of homage kind of Magneto's story almost to some degree over in the old X-Men movies. We obviously see that when she walks out of Westview and points the guns at them, she's given hella Magneto energy. Like I remember watching that.
Magneto
that really
vibes.
Cool.
Absolutely. And I just recently rewatched X-Men, and then there's the scene where where Xavier's in his in what was it, Sabretooth's mind or whatever, talking to him, and he's like, watch this, and then all the guns point towards the one dude. And,
right.
Yeah. So
I mean, they had to have done that on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you consider that, and then you consider kind of the theme of those movies is like mankind is afraid of this great power that they don't understand. And that's totally what it could be just going on with Hayward. It could be that simple. I also think it's important to remember when Monica and him have their conversation and she's like, this is supposed to be the sentient weapon research observation. And what was the D?
Observation and response.
So, and then she's like, I don't remember exactly what he says, but it's to the effect of, she's like, we're just supposed to be looking out, kind of watching. And he's like, we're developing though. We're making weapons. It almost felt to me akin to in Avengers when Fury's making the Tesseract weapons.
Right.
And the Avengers find out and they're all peeved. Like it felt kind of like that.
Or like when he's doing the stuff in Winter Soldier too.
Yes, precisely.
I feel like I need to go on Facebook right now and say Hayward is Magneto confirmed, everybody, and then everybody's gonna believe it. And then
you'd get a couple thousand likes on Twitter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Facebook will literally listen to anything.
It does. It really does.
The more ridiculous it is, the more believable it is on Facebook.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get some Facebook clout real quick. I'll be right back. But
my final thoughts on everything. Like, I actually love the fact that this was more of an expositional episode. I'm a fan of those kind of episodes. I love the fact that execution aside, the Salem witch trial thing was a good storyline to pick up.
It was cool. It was cool. I did enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, I loved the fact that we got so much history on Wanda. The sitcom thing was great. I love that they resolved that.
Yes, absolutely.
I love the stuff with her and Vision, the stuff with her Hydra experimentation, going into Sword. And I mean, just the pure emotion of this episode. She looked like she was in tears at least half that episode.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was sad.
She's going through some stuff.
Yeah, can we just take a moment for some Elizabeth Olsen appreciation? Like, she has absolutely.
She should be in the conversation for an Emmy for what she's doing on this show.
She has knocked it out of the park. I mean, yes, this is an Emmy-worthy performance right here. Yes.
Agreed.
And I would say the same thing for Paul Bettany as well.
Yes.
I mean, both of them have just done an unbelievable job on this show. And
Agreed.
Like I said before, one of the best comic book adaptations, TV, movie, whatever you want to call it, of all time, period, end of statement. I mean,
I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it.
This is definitely the best TV show they've done for sure. So, I mean, and it's kind of hard because this is obviously on a completely different caliber. This is Marvel Studios proper. No, this has never been done before.
Yeah.
But I feel like out of all of the Disney Plus shows, I think this one is going to be near impossible to beat.
Moon Knight's got it. Hands down.
We got a while till we get there.
We'll wait.
But
we will see.
I'm excited for every single one of these Disney Plus shows.
Me too. Don't get me wrong. I definitely don't think they're going to be bad. I just feel so bad for Falcon and the Winter Soldier
that they have to follow this up
because because it's going to be a great show, but not this great.
I'm excited to find out though.
Yeah, I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was originally my highest anticipated out of all the shows that they originally announced. And it's just, I mean, after seeing what WandaVision is, I just don't know how you can top that.
Something special.
Yeah,
we are spoiled as MCU fans going forward.
Absolutely, yes.
Before getting into the rest of our Marvel news, I think what I appreciate about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even considering that, Bryce, is that it's going to be such a different flavor than WandaVision. Just like style.
It's a completely different show. It's not comparable. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it. And the question is, like for me, I think the Cap trilogy is perhaps the best superhero trilogy of all time.
Yeah,
so to the conversation.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to build off that. So
if
they really hit the nail on the head, I'm like, maybe I'm going to keep my heart open to the possibility that maybe somebody could top this, but it'd be damn hard. No doubt.
I was talking to my wife actually this morning about this. I'm actually more excited for the Bucky side of this story than the Falcon side. Not that I'm not excited for the Falcon stuff, but Bucky is going to be so interesting in this series because this is the first time that we're going to see him as close to it in his right mind as possible in a modern world, adapting to everything. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That will be pretty cool. I feel like they run the risk of kind of copying the whole Cap, adjusting to the modern world. So and they have Bucky, the opportunity to do something completely different with that, because Bucky is a completely different character with a completely different backstory. That is just a little minor thing I am worried about.
I like the added addition of the mind stuff in that.
Yeah.
The way I would put it is that, for our TMNT fans out there, if Steve Rogers is Leonardo, then to me, Bucky Barnes has always been a Raphael type, but also his mind screwed up, Richard. That's a good point.
Right.
So it's a concern, but I'm not too worried about that personally. But unfortunately, I don't think we have any more Falcon and the Winter Soldier news to talk about right now. But
nothing crazy.
On the other Marvel TV front, we've got Loki. That's coming out on June 11th.
The release date,
Yeah,
so that's exciting. That's honestly, if any, I expect that to be better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and hopefully WandaVision. But I
think Loki is going to be the next comparable one.
Loki, I'm really
Loki's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Loki is going to be the next, what the heck is going on kind of show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No question.
So, there's an actress, Sophia DiMartino, I believe is her name.
Right.
And she tweeted, something about, being excited for the show. And I believe the rumor was that she's going to play female Loki. If that's true, I will bet big money.
Yeah, Lady
female
Loki.
Loki could be, Lady Loki. The Lady Loki could be the version of the character we see in Doctor Strange 2, as well as potentially Thor 4. I know that's not outright confirmed. If we'll see Loki in
there's a chance.
Thor Love and Thunder anyways, but Mjolnir, we have I think it's quite possible that Mjolnir of a different reality is what Jane Foster gets, and Loki could be the character to bring that.
I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't even know Lady Loki was a thing.
You got
Kid Loki. Kid Loki had a long line of comics. Lady Loki, I think less, but still some. Of the different versions of Loki that have had prominence in the comics, those three are definitely obviously classic. Loki obviously has got the most. Then probably Kid Loki, and then probably Lady Loki.
But personally, I'm excited for the Owen Wilson stuff because I'm a huge Owen Wilson fan. We have to get that at least once in this series, or it's going to be a complete wash. I'm kidding.
I mean, all hopes of it being better than WandaVision gone if there's no wow.
Owen Wilson has my attention for this series. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely an odd pick. I'm definitely very intrigued to see what they're doing with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Loki will be a good time. A little bit before that, so it is not Marvel Studios premiere. This is actually one of the last vestiges of the Loeb era. It's Marvel's MODOK. It's an animated series.
Right. I was kind of like lost.
Stop motion type thing.
New for Marvel, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's the titular character is a supervillain. He's going to be voiced by Patton Oswalt. Also in the cast, we've got
choice.
Ben Schwartz, Melissa Fumero, Amy Garcia.
Yes.
So comedians.
Yeah.
So
a lot of different.
Melissa Fumero, I love in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I can't wait to see what she does.
Yeah, so this is one of the This actually may be the last big project with Jeff Loeb's name on it that we see, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I believe all the other animated shows got canned, right? Like
I think so. Yeah.
I know Tiger and Dazzler did, and I know Howard the Duck did. Maybe Hit Monkeys just sitting around the corner, just hiding.
Kind of like Hellstrom. Like whenever the what was it called? The what was that thing that they were gonna do with Ghost Rider and Hellstrom? They had
Adventure into Fear.
Yeah.
Adventure into
Fear. Hellstrom was just like, hey,
man.
I made it through.
So cool.
I would have killed to see more Robbie Ray as Ghost Rider.
I would have killed to see Adventure into Fear. Because to me, that's if we were doing TV and we were giving them the reins, that's where you do Man Thing. That's where you do Blade. Like if you're doing it on TV, that's where you do Moon Knight. Like and regarding Hellstrom, that kind of side of Marvel TV, Kevin Feige had something interesting to say. So the question is, are the old shows canon? And I'm going to tell you. Maybe, we don't really know. No one really knows. If they say they do, they're kind of lying to you because Kevin Feige says things like this when addressed.
All the time.
Like if you could bring back Jessica Jones and like other Netflix characters, Feige says, I think we probably could, there are always rumors online about things reverting. They're sometimes true, sometimes not. So what that tells us is they're canon if he wants them to be. So that's how it works. That's really the most official answer you can get on the matter. Basically, case closed until further notice. Hopefully, we see Charlie Cox in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Great segue there. We talk about the title,
but real quick before we get into that, though, I've always been a huge advocate for it's canon if you want to be. I mean, does it really matter the canonicity of all this stuff? If you enjoy the show, watch it, enjoy it. It can be canon if you want. They reference stuff all the time from the movies, you know. So, I mean, there's obviously some sort of connection there. Don't get me wrong. This is coming from the Power Rangers fan where the current universe is just completely, you know, I mean, all over the place, you know. I mean, there's seasons where they completely mess up. And then they have to put them off into a separate universe because, oops, you know, we resurrected dinosaurs. Oops. And so, so I feel like, you know, that kind of makes it easier for me because the Power Rangers canon is so all over the place for me to just go, it's canon, whatever. I mean, does it really matter? But, you know, before we get into the Spider-Man stuff, I think we're forgetting about the Shang-Chi suit.
If you want to do that first, definitely. What did you think? So there was a Lego leak, right?
Yes.
And there was a Lego set coming out, and we saw a big dragon on it. We saw Shang-Chi, and obviously in Lego form, but also a picture of Simu Liu. If I'm saying his name wrong, that's my bad. I don't know.
I think it's just Simu Liu.
Simu Liu.
I tried to put the image, but it just
there's the dragon. I mean, at least
we've got the suit.
It has a little bit of his suit, like right there.
You can
let me see if I can fix that.
So, and he's awesome. He's I've seen him in Kim's Convenience. He's also in a web series, I believe, called Yappy.
And I love how much he loves being in Marvel already, and his movie hasn't even come out yet.
So,
he seems very excited over like Twitter and stuff.
Basically, no promotional material for that film so far, so it's really exciting to see this come out. It was a little like animal creature thing, smaller, no comic counterpart that anyone could thought of, anyways. Also on the set, I can't remember what it's called, but check out the leak and you'll see it there. There was also a villain. He had like death in the name. He was on the box. Let's see. Shang-Chi. Well, give me just 2 seconds here, guys. I should have.
Well, while he's doing that, I mean, I think the suit looks pretty cool. I'm really excited to see it in full action. You know, once we actually get any footage of it.
It seems kind of like what I expected it to be. You know, looking at the comic.
I mean, nothing too crazy, but I mean, it's
not too different. You know, not too samey. You know, I mean, it seems like a Marvel Cinematic Universe costume. You know, so So I mean, it seems.
But this movie's gonna be
seems about right. You know.
This movie's going to be so fun. I mean, just like the Jackie Chan martial arts stuff along with, you know, Marvel stuff.
It's real Mandarin.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. You know, so I still am a little confused on that Mandalorian fake, Mandarin fake
that would
out.
Be a crossover.
That Mandarin fake out from Iron Man 3. I still
what are you
not quite sure what they were thinking with that.
I would love to talk about that. We've only got 5 minutes before one of our famous non-commercial breaks, but I mean, so it's interesting because Mandarin will be the villain of this movie, but we've seen a version of Mandarin, a fake version in Iron Man 3. I mean, what do you have a specific question about it, or what are your thoughts on it? I'm curious.
I was just more questioning on what they were thinking back in Iron Man 3 doing a fake.
You're just saying it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'm misunderstanding here. Okay.
It's a bad idea when they did it.
You know, honestly, I thought it was fun. I really like Ben Kingsley.
It's grown on me, but
as a kid, I watched the movie as a kid, and I never caught on to the fact that, and I only seen the movie once, like whenever I watched it originally in theaters. Mm-hmm. I know I need to go back. I know, trust me, I know, and rewatch the whole thing. But you know, I never caught on to the fact that he was fake because, you know, I was a kid, so I didn't get it. And so whenever they announced that you know, the real Mandarin was going to be the villain of this movie, you know, I was a little confused. You know, so but I totally I need to go back and rewatch the entire MCU because there are so many things that I have missed on this show. Like, you know, I remember, what was it, I think I made a really stupid question back we were reviewing WandaVision. It was something about Strucker or Stromer. What is his name?
Baron von Strucker. Yeah,
Strucker. Von Strucker, I got it right the first time. I should have stuck with it. But I think I didn't know where their powers came from.
Right.
Or something like that, because it had been since 2015 since I had seen Age of Ultron.
Yeah, for sure.
So or I was questioning why they mentioned it. Or something. It's just like, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone watching was gonna get the watch. So it's definitely good to talk about on the show and kind of tell people.
I am definitely the most normie out of the three of us. like I am representing the people who like watch the movies and but like I do get into like certain aspects. There are certain aspects where I go heavy into. The thing is that I am just completely messing with the background, but I am the thing is that I'm much more of a DC guy.
We've got a lot of great DC stuff to talk about here in just a couple minutes.
So some of the Marvel stuff just kind of goes right over my head. So,
and it's the exact opposite for me, because I'm obviously the Marvel guy, and then you guys are much more into DC. So you guys catch me up on that.
There you go.
Yeah, I think for me it's a mixed bag, because on the film side I definitely prefer Marvel, and comics too, but DC's really grown on me, and that's where a lot of my reporting is. So I focus on it so much more. I think absolutely at this point. But before we go on this little non-commercial break, I got the Simu Liu Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings Lego leak pulled up. The villain I was talking about was someone called Death Dealer, and I don't know anything about him, but I feel that's
throw that up.
Might be a bad guy called the Death Dealer. Lego leaks have been wrong in the past. Also consider that there was this Ares one for Wonder Woman back in the day where he was like some big, crazy behemoth type thing that obviously didn't happen. And then the little animal friend, it's called Morris. The MCU is great about getting little cute CGI things like Goose and like Baby Groot. And honestly, if you like Inhumans, if you're one of the like 3 people watching that could possibly like Inhumans, Lockjaw was actually pretty cute. I stand by that. Teleporting Inhuman dog.
I'm not totally against that.
So regarding DC, we've got stuff for the Blue Beetle, Superman, Snyder Cut, Suicide Squad, Shazam, Superman again. And more. So we will see y'all in just a moment. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you all. So
we'll see you in a minute.
All right, and we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. We're excited to get into a lot of good stuff. First, we're obviously going to talk about Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Where is it? Oh,
background change
there it is.
From Bryce over there.
You see it? No Way Home.
Yeah, she looks great.
Lean title card.
Yeah. I really like the title. I thought Homecoming was a great name because obviously it works within, the story of the movie. And then also it's kind of a middle finger to Sony. Spider-Man's back. Far From Home, I did not like. I just thought it was stupid.
It was okay.
Not really much to that. And No Way Home, though, I think works. And it makes me think, interesting things could happen in this movie. What do y'all think?
So, like you said, I love Homecoming for multiple reasons. Middle finger to Sony was great, and then it just works because Spider-Man is in Marvel, he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he gets to go back to his roots in the movie. Far From Home, I don't know if I hated it. I just thought it was a little bit, I don't know if I want to say easy.
It was definitely on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man goes to Europe. Spider-Man Far From Home. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. It was an easy title, but I love No Way Home, honestly. I'm really excited because the best thing about it is it doesn't give away any of the movie, but it also does. I mean, you get this sense of, there's no coming back from this. Whatever happens in this next movie, there's no turning back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I think it spells Spider-Verse, even though Tom Holland says time and time again, it's his job, that, Maguire and Garfield aren't going to be in it. Of course he's going to say that. Honestly, he might be telling the truth. He might not know.
No way.
I don't know
if they're in it.
I'm not taking anything he says for granted.
Right.
So honestly, I think he has to know at this point, and I'll tell you why.
I would say so too.
A little while ago, so they were filming at the same location where they shot Endgame and Infinity War, I believe. And they've got on that set, they've got this giant open field area, and so like where the fight in Wakanda was, right? In Infinity War, with like the big wall and all that. That's where they shot that. So they reused that set in No Way Home not too long ago. So I'm figuring if there's a giant third act finale with Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange and Green Goblin and Doc Ock and Electro and just
the Sinister Six,
Vulture, and maybe Morbius and Venom and Carnage. Like if there's a big crazy Spider-Man brawl, it's probably been filmed at this point. Because they're not. Well,
didn't they film like a huge
finishing the shooting?
Didn't they film a huge portion of this movie on a soundstage?
I think so. Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of spells that they wanted to film a bunch of this movie in private, because of potential huge major spoilers. My thing is that I don't see how you release a trailer for this movie without revealing that they're doing multiverse Spider-Verse stuff.
It's easy. It's easy. You lean into the plot element of him being on the run at the end of Far From Home, because that will be a relevant part of the movie. I just expect
there's 2 to 3 whole stories that could go.
If I'm supposed to be understanding this correctly, Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe, is supposed to be the main villain. Am I not wrong? Like,
I haven't heard this. I
don't know who's the main villain, but I've heard Dafoe's in it.
My understanding
that was an exclusive from us.
My understanding with Dafoe is that he was in talks. We reported that exclusively to join the film, along with Thomas Hayden Church at that point, Sandman, right? And then Geeks Worldwide, Casey Walsh said, or maybe it wasn't Casey himself, but it was that outlet. They reported that Willem Dafoe was seen on set. So this tells us he did join.
Even if he's not, we know for a fact that if we don't know Willem Dafoe, if we don't know McGuire, if we don't know Garfield, we know for a fact that Jamie Foxx is back as Electro. Yes. We know that Alfred Molina is back as Doc Ock. What else could they possibly be doing?
Mm-hmm. That's like, both other Spider-Man universes.
Like I know, like I know they had J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, right? As a homage. Yeah. But this has gone past homage. This isn't just a callback anymore. So
the J. Jonah Jameson thing. I mean, I just love that he's back. He's one of my favorite actor to character matches ever. Mm-hmm. He's the only one I think that is just playing a new version of his character. I think this is just the MCU J. Jonah Jameson. It's just played by J.K. Simmons again.
Yeah,
definitely. I think, and speaking to that, I pray to God every day that he has a meaty role in Morbius, because that was rumored for a while.
J.K. Simmons?
Yeah, as J. Jonah
me
Jameson.
too. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
I want J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in anything. So
yes, please
put him in Shang-Chi. I don't care.
Definitely. But Spider-Man 3, Spider-Verse, Spider-Man No Way Home, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be a damn good time.
For sure.
And also, can I just say the video that they did to debut the title? Perfect.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the thing that annoyed the heck out of me, this is a family show. Was my cousin sent me the video, and I think IGN named it something like Spider-Man No Way Home teaser. And so I thought it was
that
a teaser,
man. I'm sorry.
And then it was literally just that video, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" I got so excited. And
the Russo brothers did it right when they did the first Endgame trailer, and they just did, I think it was like Avengers 4 trailer or something, and yeah.
I'm still mad at them because they said no one had guessed the title, but then it was still just Endgame, and so people had definitely guessed.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was a little bit down.
And I think that was one of the more popular guesses, wasn't it? Like Endgame, because he literally, Doctor Strange said the line in Infinity War.
Right, we're in the Endgame now.
And then Tony also says something about this is the Endgame back in Age of Ultron, referring to like Ultron and like
that up there, that's the Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Precisely. And snap, I had a great segue, and then my mind totally blanked on it. Oh, I remember. So IGN hitting you with the, vaguely deceptive journalism. Let's talk about a Vanity Fair article that came out. It was like the true story of the release the Snyder Cut movement or something along those lines. And it was this nice long article, and it had a lot, comments from Snyder, from cast members, and it kind of laid out everything that happened, and it was cool. And then you got to the end of it, and it promised. It said Zack Snyder reshot the ending with a cameo that will blow the minds of hardcore fans, right? And then I'm like, ooh, that's awesome! I'm so excited. Next day, I believe it was IO9. IO9 comes out, and they're like, yeah, guys, so that's just Martian Manhunter. And I'm like, whoa. Hold up. Are you kidding me? Because
guys, I warned you.
This story blew up. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. Who could it be? Because we've already got so many characters in this movie.
You see the disgustingly irritated look on my face from this news.
I told you all, and you guys were like, no, we already know about Martian Manhunter. They wouldn't do that.
I didn't think they would.
Snyder.
It was naive of me. It was naive of me to have more faith in Vanity Fair because I don't read Vanity Fair. I wasn't well versed. I just assumed that someone with a reputation like that would be honest to their readers, and they just weren't.
You'd think so.
It was just a lie.
We've seen this whole time, with Joker, with Darkseid, with the new look for Steppenwolf. They time and time again. They've revealed all of their surprises. There's no surprises left in the book. Martian Manhunter was always going to be the thing at the end. I called it. The only thing that I thought could have been maybe it was Green Lantern. But I was still pretty
We'll hear about that in a week. We'll hear about it.
Well, and I was still pretty convinced that that scene was going to be Martian Manhunter. And well, here we are.
I would argue. I would honestly argue that Lantern, at least to some very small degree, has already been confirmed for the film too.
Yeah, I mean, we already had the lanterns in the flashback scene.
We'll see a lantern at least a very little bit.
Yeah. Well, we've already seen that. We already know that lanterns are in the film because they were in that flashback scene in the original cut, which is a part of the Snyder cut. The only thing that was changed was Steppenwolf was replaced Darkseid.
You know what? I just remembered. So. I need to go back and watch because I haven't seen it in forever. But I remember before Justice League happened, the excitement I originally was feeling for Justice League because I was like, all right, this is going to be hard. Like I'm excited. In the trailer, it's like I believe it's Steppenwolf narrating, and he's like talking about it's basically it's time for Darkseid and his forces to descend on Earth. And he's like, right, the world's ready, no Kryptonian. No lanterns. And I was like, that's sick. So there's gonna be like lanterns kind of tie in. It's stupid. It's stupid that he says no lanterns, but like whatever. I'm sure he's coming later. That was so cool.
And, I was thinking, here's the thing. I know I compare Marvel to DC a lot on this show, and I apologize, but another comparison for Marvel and DC. You look at WandaVision, this mystery cameo that has been teased for the last 5 weeks by Paul Bettany. We don't know if we've seen it yet. Although
still Doctor Strange.
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm actually wondering if it's Paul Bettany himself with the whole White Vision thing. But that's a whole other topic for another
I could not wait to work with this person, and then it's literally just himself.
That would be hilarious. But
I don't know. I still think it's the Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Me too. But the fact that we still don't know who it is fantastic. We know everything about the Snyder cut. This is my rant. You guys have your Spider-Man rant. You guys have had your other rants about stuff. The Snyder cut is my rant subject because we have gotten every bit of news on this movie. We've gotten Joker. We've gotten Darkseid. We've gotten Steppenwolf. We've gotten Martian freaking Manhunter.
Granny goodness.
Granny goodness.
Desaad.
I swear to God, next week we're gonna get the lanterns.
Willem Dafoe from Aquaman. What was his character?
Volko.
Just leave something to the imagination. I know this movie's 4 hours long, but
Snyder. Someone asked Snyder some question about there potentially being another female League member in Justice League, alongside Wonder Woman, and he refused to comment on that recently. So that may just be a nothing story, but maybe I think we'll see at least.
Snyder refused to comment on anything.
Yeah, it's funny because he's you're right. He's always just upfront. He's an open book, and something actually huge that he revealed. Which we all knew, but he kind of confirmed it, and I'd been in denial about this, and then he was like, "No, this is what's happening." this movie is going to end on a massive cliffhanger, Infinity War style, and we're never going to see resolution. I almost guarantee it. Okay, he said this himself, like outright confirmed it. And
going to hold my tongue on this for a little bit.
You know, you've got A New Hope, you've got Fellowship of the Ring, you've got Infinity War, you've got movies that are kind of part ones or cliffhanger type things that are amazing in self-contained. It can be done. And Snyder, I truly believe Zack Snyder is a good director who makes some crazy creative choices. That's how I feel about the guy. So could this still be good? Yes, I don't trust it so much right now, though. It's really frightening.
Before we get into the cliffhanger thing, which I also called, can we just talk about how Zack Snyder edited this entire movie in black and white? Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah. So they're gonna do the Justice is Gray edition. And I don't think it has a release date, but
he says that is the definitive version. Is the black and white, because he edited the whole film in black and white, but they are releasing the main version will be in color, but the definitive version is in black and white, a superhero movie in black and white.
I mean, Logan did it. Logan did it with Logan.
Did they really?
Yeah, there's a black and white cut of Logan, like official license thing. Well, I mean, Logan, I think it works with thematically.
Yeah.
But Rich, you were
saying. I will give Snyder this. He makes some bold choices. He takes risks. I respect that for what it is. But you have a 4-hour movie that ends on a damn cliffhanger. We don't get resolution.
And they're never going to make a sequel. Let's be real.
Only thought I have is that maybe this is what he was intending when Justice League was supposed to be a 2-part movie. Because the first part was supposed to come out in 2017. Yeah. And part 2 was supposed to come out in 2019, a la Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just him paying homage to what his original ending was. But this is a 4-hour movie with a cliffhanger. So you're losing me, Snyder.
And a cliffhanger that will never be resolved.
Exactly.
I went and double checked on this because people don't talk about it very often, but
because Warner has no plans
Snyder
to continue the Snyderverse.
Snyder,
go ahead.
Yeah, so Snyder he was making Justice League, and this is I see it as the Superman trilogy: the Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Justice League, right? That's interesting because that really is Snyder's. That is what he's given us in the DCEU. He's not going to do more after this, I don't think. And that's it. That's
I doubt it.
Did. You know, I admit, and I'm not counting Wonder Woman in that, just because he didn't direct it. But the Snyder directed DC trilogy is a Superman trilogy, and so I hope that can be good because I like Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm not super attached to him, and he's never been my favorite character, but I do like him. So I hope that this movie, does his revival and does his arc and then the black suit stuff and his return to Lois and his mom and stuff. And I hope that handles it well because Justice League obviously handled it horribly, and I want to see this character done justice. But regardless, this was not the end of the road. It was the end of the trilogy for Superman. If you look at it from that angle, it was supposed to be Justice League Part 1. So I know they announced it as Part 1 and Part 2 when they announced that whole slate through 2020 back in their early 2010s. But he was planning to do a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
So Part 2 would have entirely been a nightmare movie, set in the timeline where Darkseid kind of
where this movie is supposed to end off. So I do think, I think Richard was it. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's so many conversations, but I think Richard is completely on the nose. I do think that this is both Justice League Part 1 and Part 2 in this 4-hour movie, because first of all, it's 4 hours, how did
I sure as hell ain't do it in one sitting.
Yeah. So this is obviously both movies put into one.
Well, I think they expanded the nightmare stuff because obviously they filmed with Joker, but I don't think they did everything he was planning for 2. There's so much content
I disagree. Because I may be wrong on this because this was years and years ago, but I was of the understanding that they were filming Justice League Part 1 and Part 2 concurrently, similarly to Infinity War and Endgame. And if that was the case, Zack Snyder basically shot the whole thing, it would make sense how both movies would have been complete, so.
Yeah. That's just not the way that the story's been told. I mean, I think you're right. I think the plan
some
was
stuff
that,
from the sequel, but
it would be a matter of for me to see if that would check out would be to look and see what is the date that Snyder.
You'd have to go back like 5 years ago
because he didn't quite finish this movie, right? That was planned to be released theatrically at that point in time. He didn't even quite finish it, and that is why Joss Whedon was called in. And admittedly, they had Whedon redo the whole movie. But the reason they had an excuse to do it is because Snyder hadn't even finished that yet. So then, could he have filmed?
But he shot it though. He
was shooting stuff in secret, and could he have filmed content for Justice League 2? For sure. I'm just not sure. It's possible.
It's a whole hodgepodge of stuff.
Yeah, but what was I getting ready to? I can't remember. But they this really it ticks me off because Snyder has to know that that Warner has no plans to continue his universe.
Well, it just comes down to Ray Fisher, really, if you ask me. It comes down to Cyborg.
Well, we could get to that here in a second. Hold on.
He's the linchpin.
But hold on here. But the thing is that, we've got J.J. Abrams' Superman announced, and we're getting ready to talk about that here in a second. We've got Supergirl. I like the whole thing about the Superman thing that kind of confuses me is that I kind of figured that she was going to be the main super person, but now it seems like what's his name, Calvin something. I think Michael B. Jordan mentioned it. There was because the rumor is that this is going to be Black Superman, and there was a Black Superman in the comics by the name of Calvin something, I think.
It's something like that.
And Michael B. Jordan was talking about how that would probably be the version that they would use. But obviously that's not going to be Henry Cavill. Yeah,
Calvin Ellis, right?
Obviously that's not going to be Henry Cavill. And so even if they do Supergirl movies, that's definitely not Henry Cavill. Let's see, Robert Pattinson, that's not Ben Affleck.
Well, here's the thing with the Supergirl movie, though, and my honest opinion on that, it was reported not too long ago, like a few months now, but not too long ago, that Henry Cavill would continue as Superman in cameo roles in future movies, but there was no plan for another solo film at this time. So in Supergirl, that's how they debuted Tyler. I don't know how the hell you say his last
Hoechlin.
Name.
Hoechlin.
Tyler Hoechlin. He debuted in Supergirl, the show, as a supporting role. So Henry Cavill could do that in a Supergirl movie. I think that's totally plausible. That's if you want to mention Superman and Lois real quick, if you want to get into that.
Well, hold on. We gotta finish the Snyder cut stuff because there's still a lot more to say. I just don't understand how Snyder didn't have the foresight to at least wrap it up somewhat. Because he's going to leave his fans with nothing. Like they're never going to get a resolution to this.
Bro,
maybe this is what he wanted.
No, let me tell you. Here's what I think happened. I don't think it's his fault. I'm not necessarily saying it's his fault. I was not always of the opinion that it was entirely Ray Fisher's fault that we would not get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. But now that I'm thinking about it, he filmed it this way on purpose. He did that, okay? And when he was shooting things, like the Ray Fisher drama had been boiling for a few months, but we weren't at a point where he'd said, I won't work with Hamada, and he wasn't at the point where he was fired off the Flash. He had a future at DC Films, which means that every single character he needs to do Justice League 2 is still attached to Warner Brothers in a serious way. So it's possible at that point. And then the cyborg stuff happens. And so then what does that mean? That means compromising his vision by recasting or writing the character out of the movie, which he's not going to do. Okay. No. And so this is why we won't get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, if for no other reason. There are obviously other obstacles, but the cyborg one is an insurmountable one at this point. That's my honest opinion.
Absolutely. Fisher's not coming back.
So that's really the biggest thing here, stopping it from happening. So I figure Snyder probably wanted to strong arm Warner Brothers, hopefully, bank on the success of this movie in terms of HBO Max numbers, and then roll that into Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. That was probably what he was hoping, but now it just can't happen. It just won't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sucks. So
I agree.
It just sucks that the DCEU is such a mess.
It's embarrassing because it's studio drama affecting what should be good, uncompromised
content for the
storytelling.
fans.
you know, because like we love these characters. We like DC and Marvel are so amazing to me because when I was a kid, like they were cool comic book superheroes, yeah, whatever. But as I've like grown to really dive into this world of entertainment and storytelling, like these characters have been around for almost a century. There are myths, our gods, our legends. We basically worship them. Like, you know, no blasphemy, but like
these are our mythology.
Literally,
dear Nightwing.
Exactly. And so it's awesome that we get so much content, but it sucks when you see it kind of polluted by just drama,
greed.
Drama and greed and jealousy and wrongdoing and unethical business, you know, and it's tough.
When money gets in the way.
I'm thinking, do we have anything else to say about the Snyder Cut? We mentioned the massive cliffhanger. It was confirmed to have a runtime of like 4 hours and like 1 minute, approximately, a few seconds.
Yeah. Well, you'll have about a 6 hour window to watch it before Falcon and the Winter Soldier takes it over and just completely blows it out of the water.
Yeah. And that's another thing. The release window definitely is just garbage. They moved, they literally moved Godzilla versus Kong to within a week of it as well. So they put it right behind an extremely anticipated Disney Marvel project. And then they put one of their biggest blockbuster hits of the year very close to it as well. They're trying to bury the Snyder Cut. They don't want it to succeed. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It will be interesting to see what they actually do after Flash.
I want to get off of the downer note of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, but I am. They're obviously rebooting or refreshing or something. So
with
it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. What they where they take the universe and if they're actually going to do it right, you know, this time. So.
It's like Days of Future Past. You look at the storyline and you know exactly why they chose it in a behind the scenes kind of way. Because the continuity's got so many holes in it and it's so wonky. They want to be able to start over, incorporate whoever they want from wherever they want. You know, if they wanted to cast characters from the Arrowverse or from Titans or Doom Patrol or whatever, or Pattinson, if they really want to, Flashpoint opens the door to anything. If they want to put in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, if they want to put in Melissa Benoist's Supergirl to have like a movie where she stars alongside the new one, they could do that after Flashpoint. It opens up so many doors, so many opportunities.
I kind of hope they don't do it the way they did Days of Future Past, though, because that almost made it worse.
They failed miserably with Days of Future Past. That wasn't the Days of Future Past.
I love the movie Days of Future Past
is awesome. The follow-up after garbage.
Right, the fallout from it.
Well, the follow-ups, you know, but
Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix were not it, but On the cooler stuff on the DC front, we mentioned the Superman movie. Ta-Nehisi Coates, who had a really prolific run on Black Panther recently, just within the recent past few years. He's tapped to write it, and as you said, it's going to be produced by JJ. Additionally, on the Shazam front, actress Rachel Ziegler, I hope I'm saying her name right, has joined Shazam: Fury of the Gods. We don't know what role she's going to be playing, but that's exciting. Connecting to Shazam, we've got Black Adam. So Murphy's Multiverse, our friends over there dropped an exclusive looking at some casting that they're doing right now. They're looking to cast Teth Adam. That's the civilian name of Black Adam, the title character. Trying to cast an actor to play a young version of him, and then also his father, Teth Adam's father. And they also revealed that they're still looking to cast Dr. Fate. For those unfamiliar with the character, that's kind of like DC's answer to Doctor Strange. I believe he does predate him by a good bit, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, they're Sorcerer Supreme, so to speak.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's exciting. We've also got Blue Beetle. Jamie Reyes is the alter ego. That's going to be one of the first Latino superheroes that we see on the big screen. So that's exciting. Obviously, we've got Robbie Reyes representing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's really cool. But he has not made the transition over to a big screen production. So fans of the characters can be excited for that. The writer tied to that movie is a man named Gareth Dunat Alcocer. He's also working on a Scarface remake. And the director is going to be Angel Manuel Soto, who directed a movie, or maybe it's a TV show, I'm not familiar with it, something called Charm City Kings. And this news comes from The Wrap. So that is just a little rapid fire of some DC stuff, small stuff. I know that you're excited, really excited for Suicide Squad. Character that I'm particularly excited for in the movie is King Shark. We haven't known who's going to be doing the voice acting for him, but Casey Walsh of Geeks Worldwide, pretty reliable guy, broke the Doc Ock and Spider-Man No Way Home news first. He's reporting that it sounds like Sylvester Stallone is voicing King Shark. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, actually.
Well, Sylvester Stallone has one of the iconic voices in Hollywood, so that's going to be great. Him coming out of a shark is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Suicide Squad is going to be really cool. Me and you both have had some Peacemaker exclusives. That's going to be a spinoff of the show starring John Cena's character. It's a prequel. That's really cool. He seems like a pretty interesting character. I'm not like wholly convinced of John Cena as a leading man yet. But I'm not against it either. You know, I'm open to the idea.
I mean, he was in WWE for.
I love The Rock. You know, Dwayne Johnson's amazing, and
Dwayne Johnson's an icon.
Wrestlers can make the transition from WWE to acting and make.
Look at Dave Bautista.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's going to be in Army of the Dead, but he's played Drax. I hope Peacemaker's great. I trust James Gunn with all my heart when it comes to producing superhero content. So that'll be really cool. In other news on the DC front,
I've actually got a very recent update to the Star Wars stuff. If we want to go there for a second, this literally released 5 minutes ago. Indria Varma is set to join the Obi-Wan series. Unconfirmed role, but she was in Game of Thrones for a little while.
Okay.
And she looks to be reported from Deadline joining the cast of Obi-Wan. So
nice.
Yeah, this literally released 5 minutes ago. So cool stuff.
Pretty epic. You know, a lot of the times the Game of Thrones actors come into these other franchises and they do pretty well. So I've never watched the show, but I know that the Game of Thrones actors have a really good track record. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty exciting.
You got just with superhero stuff. I know that Star Wars is not superheroes, but you got Maisie Williams, who went on to do Wolfsbane in the New Mutants. Yeah. Finn Jones, he was Iron Fist.
Sophie Turner.
Yes, Pedro Pascal.
Jean Grey. Yeah, Pedro Pascal. Maxwell Lord. Got his name's Ewan
and the Mandalorian.
Maximus. Maximus the Mad from Inhumans.
Yeah.
He was on
the guy who's directing WandaVision, Matt Shackman, did a few episodes of Game of Thrones.
There you go.
Nice. So that's been churning out a lot of stuff for some of our favorite franchises, the alumni of Game
Jason
of
Momoa.
Thrones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. That's a big one. I don't know how he did.
Yeah, I was like, how did we miss Momoa?
Aquaman himself.
Yeah,
right? That's one thing that I do want to say. As much as I'm concerned about the overall quality of the Snyder Cut, and if I'm really going to enjoy the film, or if it's going to stand on its own, even as a part one, that's a big cliffhanger kind of ending. Aquaman, under Zack Snyder's direction, starring Jason Momoa, is going to kick ass. It's going to be so much fun. At least we'll have that, man.
Yeah,
that'll be good. There's not a doubt in my mind that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if we've touched about this. How do you feel about the whole Amber Heard still being in it thing?
So, I mean, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Look, my parents are obviously not Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You know, I think they're good people and would not be nearly as crazy as those two were to each other. But I know what it's like to see, a couple separate and it be tough. And I know that nasty things can be said. That's just kind of a fact of life. And so it's kind of makes me think of the Jeremy Renner situation where people several months ago were like, fire him off Hawkeye, because him and his wife were going through a separation, and there was a lot of TMZ tabloid stuff going around. And I'm not well versed enough in the actual legal proceeding. There was the stuff with The Sun and Amber Heard.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama stuff.
Yeah, I really just don't know. I liked her as Mira. It sucks if she's a crappy person behind the scenes, and it is terrible. Her husband, Johnny Depp's always seemed like, I mean, I don't know these people personally, so it's hard for me to really say, because it feels like talking about their personal lives, and I know that's totally fair, and that's none
kind
of our job.
Yeah,
but
that's a fair point.
There's a side of this. There's a side of this industry that really gets into that, and it gets views, and it is a big story. But But yeah, like you said, so there was a report from, I believe, Popcorn Planet. It's Andy Signor, Fandom Wire, that goes kind of outlets, that Amber Heard was going to be off of Aquaman. And she's going to be replaced by some unknown actress. And then we heard some trades, more reliable sources. That is not the case. Amber Heard is still attached to Aquaman to play Mira.
Listen,
she said herself that she's still going to be in it. So
here's the thing about this whole situation is that, first of all, none of our business, really. This is their divorce. This is their own private thing.
Yeah, it's their mess.
What do we have anything to do with that? Yeah. Second of all, you know, I'm not denying that Amber Heard didn't do the things that she's accused of. In fact, I do believe that she did. But there's a lot of stuff that Johnny Depp did that no one's talking about. You know, it's not like Amber Heard was the only abusive person in this relationship. The relationship was toxic on both sides.
He lost Grindelwald over this. He got a pretty big payout for it, but
there's
affected his career
there's
too.
The messages from him and Paul Bettany. That nobody mentions, nobody talks about that. You know,
I forgot about that actually.
Those were used in court. That's why he lost. People don't mention that. And
I think for me, just a lot of times it feels very one-sided in these kind of things.
It's Amber Heard is the bad guy, the end, and that's not the case. They've both done wrong. And so I think both should be held accountable. I mean, if Johnny, honestly, if I'm being frank here, if Johnny Depp got fired, Amber Heard should be fired too. Because they both were wrong in this relationship. So I don't. So if Amber Heard is going to say, I don't think Johnny Depp should have been fired.
What I said at the time when that was announced, and I think Bryce, we probably talked about this then as well, was that ultimately the public pressure was on Johnny Depp and was on Warner Brothers to remove him. There was a crowd that was like, "Ooh, take down Amber Heard too," but they were smaller, they were less vocal, and the pressure was not nearly on as high. And so who got cut? Johnny Depp. That's the way Hollywood works. It sucks. It's not fair. It's stupid, and it promotes unhealthy behavior and unhealthy business within the industry. Yeah. But it is what it is. We are coming to about the end of our show here in just a few minutes. We've got a couple other pieces of news I want to crank out real quick. And we got our final thoughts in before.
Let me get into Superman and Lois real quick because that's going to take a little bit longer. That is
definitely one of them.
I'm not going to go into spoilers. One, we don't have time. Two, I want these two to see it. I want to definitely encourage you to see it. It is definitely nothing like any of the other Arrowverse shows in the best way possible. Not to say that the Arrowverse shows are bad in any way, but I feel like a lot of the flaws that the Arrowverse shows have are pretty much fixed in Superman and Lois. The budget is way higher than any of the other shows, and it's very clear with the special effects. I think the story is a lot more grounded, and it's very real, but not in a forced way. Because a lot of the shows like Batwoman and Flash and Legends, all of them, they try to meet a certain agenda, and they try to, and a lot of the times they force it down your throats. But in this, Clark and Lois have a son named Jordan who deals with anxiety disorder, and it's not something that is shoved down your it's not forced. It's natural to the story, and it's something that actually feels in place, and it's not them trying to meet a certain agenda. We have to have a
certain demographic or something.
Yes. And I'm absolutely for representation. Don't take me out of context, please. But it seems like a lot of the times they add characters just because, and that's not okay. That's not representation. That's them meeting an agenda. I want them to have representation. If you're going to have representation, do it right. And, actually represent the people that you're trying to represent.
The right way.
And I feel like they've done that really well so far with the whole anxiety thing with Jordan Kent, I guess it would be. Jordan Kent, so
they'll have to check out Superman and Lois.
Yeah, definitely check that out. It's a very real show, but I think they did it in just the right way. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to see more.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
I would love to watch Superman and Lois and then Smallville side by side. I think that would be a really, really cool thing.
That'd be cool.
Kind of compare
comparisons.
So final pieces of news before we go and wrap things up. We have exclusives on another CW project, Naomi. And then we also have another exclusive regarding The Boys, the Amazon Prime show, not the show itself, but a spin-off of The Boys. It's character descriptions for five characters that are going to be, it looks like big players in the show. So definitely check that out if you're into The Boys. Just want to plug that real quick. We're also getting on the Star Wars front, last piece of news, The Bad Batch. That comes out on May the 4th. We'll get the first episode. Then next episode, just a few days later on Friday, it'll release on Fridays. Henceforth after that, we don't know how long the season's going to be, but that is cool. If you love Clone Wars, if you like Rebels, animation side of Star Wars, that's definitely going to be a good time. Stuff. That is all the news we've got. I've really enjoyed talking about this with you guys. I always do. It's always a blast. We hope
fun times.
I hope that our viewers have enjoyed this as much as we do. We love talking to you. We do value each and every one of you who comes and watches. You know, I joke about us not getting many views. But those that do pretty mean often on the show. It really does. It's, you know, we love doing this. We like to take the time to do it, and it does. You know, it's just us talking about what we love, but it takes work, it takes time, it takes effort. So to see people appreciating that feels wonderful. I'll let Absolutely. You guys say your 2 cents before we wrap this up.
Give us WandaVision. We can't wait for the end of the week, and we got a ton of Marvel stuff coming up, so I can't wait for it. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yep, cannot wait for WandaVision next week. That's pretty much all I got. So
yes. Finale should be amazing. All right. Well, remember, it's all connected, and we will see you discussing the WandaVision finale next time. Peace out.